Hello everybody, this is just a quick video to demonstrate the Aputure DEC wireless focus and camera run stop control that I've got for sale on eBay at the moment. It's for Canon lenses into Micro Four Thirds bodies. So here we've got a Tachyna Canon mount lens with the GH4, which has got the Micro Four Thirds mount. I've got it connected via the included cable. I don't know if you can see there, it's GH series written on there, so you can use this with your GH3, GH4, I would think GH5 as well, but I don't have one of those, so you'd have to check. It just goes into the remote port on the side of the camera there. It's just a sort of micro jack thing. You've got this socket here for USB as well. And I'll tell you, certainly for the GH4 anyway, I can attest the sort of correct way to turn it on to make sure it always works. Occasionally, if you switch on in the opposite manner, it won't work. So what we do first is to turn on the brain, or the kind of interface here, the mount itself. Switch that on, there it comes on, reads Aputure, and it starts to calibrate the lens. It finds the sort of start, infinity and close focus stops. Once it's happy with that, it will display the current focal length and the f-stop as well, and give you a little battery indicator. Now once you switch that on, then you can go right ahead and turn on the remote control. That will sort of connect very quickly. You can see the connection signal bars there as well, and that's now reading the same as the adapter is. Once you've done all that, then switch your camera on. Sometimes if you have the camera on first and then switch the mount on, or camera on, mount on, and then the remote, for instance, sometimes it doesn't, for some reason, allow the run stop to happen. But now we've done it in this order. There's a card in the camera. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's ready to go. So when we press run stop, there you go, it's remotely turned over the camera. And then likely press it again, and there it's cut. So that's a really handy feature, but sometimes if you don't start and stop in this order, it won't always work. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the focus. So here we are. Obviously we've got close and far there, the sort of opposite ends that the lens turns in, which can be a bit confusing, but as long as you remember, that's your close focus there, and you get a little vibration from the handset when it hits its absolute end stop as well. So that's a slow turn all the way to infinity. Obviously a hard press one way or another will spin it through as fast as it can, but you can eke it by just really gently pressing. You probably hear it's sort of turning like a clock in there. So it's not the smoothest thing, but with a lens this wide, you can't really tell. I mean, if you're going from an object at sort of, let's say, a foot away, sure, to something that's suddenly 3 foot away, you could do it faster than that. But you wouldn't really notice, even if it were to creep through like this. You can set some handy A and B stops. So let's say, yes, 3 foot there was your end, so let's put that in as an A. So press the A button and it comes up there and flashes A. Okay, then we'll move right over to our close focus, which, let's say that was 1 foot there. So press B button on the side, and you can see now you've got a little white square around A and B, which means that you can fully, without sort of intermediary control, you can just fully go one way, and it will only go so far as the markings that you put in before. So that should be sort of 1 foot close there to 3 foot. It's never quite accurate. Sometimes you'll run one way, and sometimes you might need to tease it a few times, but often I find that's more just the way this lens works. It kind of sometimes surpasses the end of the motor anyway. That's kind of an idea anyway. It can get you close to it. It's not perfect, but it does work on the handset anyway. I can't tell how it would work on other lenses because I've only used this lens with this system so far. Anyway, to cancel that, you just press your buttons again and you're back to normal. The sort of thumb screw in the back there operates your aperture remotely. So we're 2.8 at the moment. We can roll that all the way to close down. There you go, it's f22. And all the third stops in between, which is really handy. All the way to wide open, which is 2.8 on this lens. It's also pretty accurate when it comes to gauging what focal length you're at. So you can see 16 there on the remote. If I manually move there, 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11. So it's pretty good at giving you, if you knew you had to be at 14, for example, you'd be at least very close to it on the ring. So that's it pretty much. That's all the controls working. We can see the run stop works just fine. The battery's pretty good on this. This has only been on charge for probably half an hour, and it's reading full, and it's reading full there. I can sort of do a range test roughly for you as well. I mean, I'm going to walk over now to, let's see, I'm probably getting up for 10 meters away now from the camera. Okay, here's our remote. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's definitely working from here. If we look at the little signal, it's still pretty good. I'm going to run it from here and just see what happens. So press run. Let's walk up to the camera. Lo and behold, it is actually running. There, running for 10 seconds now, so we'll cut that off. There, so it's a pretty good range on it, to be honest. You could be, certainly at least line of sight in the open air, it seems pretty good. I don't know what it'd be like with walls in the way. But anyway, there it is, the Aputure DEC, that's for sale at the moment. It's got internal battery on both the remote and the mount. You can charge them up using your mini USB cables, which there's one included with the set. It's been fantastic for me for having this camera on a gimbal or something like that, where you can't fiddle around with focus while you're flying it. So yeah, have a look at that kit at the moment. The link's below.